And now from politics to sports, Africa's 100-meter record holder Ferdinand Omanyala is spending the holiday season in the gym as he prepares to defend his Commonwealth Games title. The 29-year-old police officer and university student is the 10th fastest man of all time. Our sports presenter Tony Kwalanda caught up with the Spirit Star.
Thank you for really making time. We appreciate. Asante sana. Tell me something. One of your wow moments this season. Tuambie one of your memorable moments this particular season that yenye tunamalizia hii mwaka. Imekuwa vipi?
I have some very memorable moments. I'll pick one when I broke the 150 meters African record in Atlanta. That was one of the perfect races that I've ever run, and this season that was one of the best runs. There's this year, I think 2023, there were so many fans until people wondering who is this guy. So now they embraced me and walinichukua kama mse wa hapo, and every time there's always this event, people come and cheer me, and Kenyans by then in Atlanta are just awesome. They're very, very awesome because nakumbuka walikuwa natuletea food mpaka tunashangaa. Kwani ni a full team bana. Tunaambia tuko tu watatu, me, my manager and my coach, but these guys are bringing like foods and foods and foods. So I think that environment inanifanya nakuwa tu na feel tu niko home. Na everything around it inakuwa tu more comfortable.
America is a good country where we can actually pick a lot of lessons in athletics, the science. You've interacted with them. We've interacted, of course, with this you've always been racing with them. What do they say? What do they share with you? What do you pick from them that actually Kenya can actually buy or actually look forward to?
We can never be the equal, you know. And one thing I always say is hizi vidole hazitawaitoshana, you know. So I'm a big believer in use what you have to get what you want. As much as, yeah, we appreciate they have everything and, you know, they have programs that keep them running and they have structures that have been so helpful to them. But to me is what will I show to the people at home, you know. If that guy will leave the country and go and train in the US and my breakthrough came through Kenya, what am I showing to the young kids? So, we have everything. We've a testament of that. We use what you have to get what you want. The science and everything, whatever they're doing, basically is almost the same thing that we're doing. But genetics, you can't give me what the USA guy is doing. That will be under training. Because where I'm born, where I'm raised, minimum is a hardship. You know, sini wase tulikuwa tunabeba 20 liters kutoka kwa mtoni tukiwa 5 years. So you can't compare my genetic composition with that guy. So that's why there's a big difference. The most important thing in terms of training and performance is just, athletics, your team understanding how your body works.
How is your season looking like as we get into 2026?
2026, my highlight will be defending the Commonwealth Games, 100-meter title. And that one it's close to my heart. And I'm really working towards that. But of course, we don't overlook the things that are there, competitions that are coming before that. We're having the World Indoor Championships. We're having the World Indoor Tour that's coming up in 2 months. So of course, that's in sight. But the highlight, of course, will be the Commonwealth. But again, we have this new event, the Ultimate Championships, that are coming in Budapest in next year, September. And that for me will be huge because it's a new event. And I want my name to be edged in the history of the World Ultimate Championships.
Who have been, of course, behind your success? Well, let's look at this, of course, in 2025 and, of course, in the past as well. Nani wamesimama na wewe? Of course, you're under AK, you're under NOC, you're under everything. Nani wamesimama na wewe? Family, organizations, companies. Who was really?
I'll have to put in the family as well. It's not been an easy season. We've not had some performances that we were expecting, an injury along the way. But I want to big up my sponsors because were it not for them, I couldn't even have gone to the World Championships. And for them just to send me emails, messages, and telling me that you're together in this, we'll support you all through, we understand the struggles and stuff. So for me, that was a big motivation this season, and that kept me going. Yeah, my sponsors were a very big impact for my season this year. And yeah, Toyota, Adidas, our sport really needs, it's expensive. And you know, if you're not running, you're not making money. But then if you have sponsors, when you have sponsors like I did this year, they were there for me. They were there to support me. They were there to make sure that everything financially was up to deck. And you know, the support, the motivation that goes a long way in just making you keep running. We are together in this, so that was a huge motivating factor. And for me, this season is for them. Yes. Yeah, I got to the end because of them.
I'm sure your teammates would like to hear you, appreciate and acknowledge them. Najua uko na wengi sana, but you can mention some of those that you train with. Yeah. Wale mna sweatingi, ule anajua venye jasho yako inanuka.
Yeah, right now, especially when we started the 2026 season, I've had some very good moments the last couple of weeks because of the training mates that I have. Of course, Onyango, ule jamba tulikimbiza na relay, is a great training partner. We have Samuel Chege. You know, ni mse anaweza kupigia simu every time. Hata amenipigia simu tu sahi. Like, hey, Fadi uko aje manze, we just done training. Where are you? Unafeel aje? You know, those are the guys who have been wamekuwa tu hapo. Like every time I wake up in the morning and I imagine enda kupatana na hawa kwa training camp. I'm just like, manze, these guys are looking up to me. They're enjoying when I'm training with them. Of course, my brother as well. So every time we're going, we're pushing ourselves. Those last reps when you don't feel like doing. I remember a couple of sessions when I came back, coming back from an injury, really struggling to like pick yourself up. Nilikuwa na run hivi nafika set ya 3 ama 4, I'm like, hey my guys, I'm out. I'm out. But these guys are there like, Fadi ache ujinga. Remember maze. Hey maze. So the teammates have been very, very supportive. Of course, Coach Dan. Dan amekuwa very, very impactful the last couple of weeks. Because like getting back to the rhythm imekuwa hard. It was a bit hard, but he's been there. Amekuwa anani encourage ananiambia sukuma hii kitu manze. Najua ni hard, but lazima itajipa. So that group, of course, that just to mention but a few. We have a group of like 20 people, But vila si tulianza training, they already like trained already like 1.5 months, so we couldn't be put together. So this team that I've mentioned is the one that we are now training together and just trying to make sure that nikirudi sub 10, I'll pia waingie 10-0, 10-1, and then of course that will be a very big impact to the relay team as well. Those are the guys who have been wamekuwa tu hapo. Like every time I wake up in the morning and I imagine enda kupatana na hawa kwa training camp, I'm just like, manze, these guys are looking up to me. They're enjoying when I'm training with them. Of course, my brother as well.
I know uko bado shule. Unajua tunasomaga mahali tunasema he is also still a student at the University of Umefika wapi na hii maneno?
I wear many hats, and one thing that I always do is I always try and separate them, because ukizieka pamoja and then it becomes a huge load on your head. But ukiingia class, you're something different. Ukienda field, you're something different. Ukienda job, sometimes you're something different. When you're back home, you're not an athlete, you're not a student, you're not a police. When you're mzae home. So you need to always just know how to differentiate all that.
And you are promoted in the discipline forces. You are promoted. Tunaonanga una post kwa social media pale, unakaa umedunga combat.
Hatari hiyo. Now I'm proud of that, because that one opportunity that really I'm proud of, because I'm not just wearing that uniform, but again, looking at how many police officers I'm representing out here, so many, and just being that face of people seeing me and the picture that they've been seeing of a normal police officer. I mean, like, not every police officer is that person that you think he is, So being the face of, police officer or police sports, I mean, we just create something different. And every time we're running in those police vests in national championships, I always love when people are happy to see us run, people are happy to see us compete. It brings a different picture of what people have in their minds about police officers, yeah.
Wewe unajua venye mkono ya president na feel. Wewe umemusalimia. Buda. Yeah, tumehaka. Nyinyi ni mabeste, nyinyi ni maboys. Tell us about that experience.
in a show too, this world you can meet whoever you want, you know. When the former president was being sworn in 2013, I was in high school, and I remember watching that. My dad used to really love history and used to watch all these elections, Olympics, World Championships, CAF, like all these champions. Like my dad used to love all these things. So because of that, we used to watch. So in 2013, when they were being sworn in, I was like, I admire these guys, man. Like, I admire these guys. I wish that one day I'll meet them. I never knew in my wildest dream that I'll ever meet them, but I was just like, I admire these people. 8 years later, after running the African record at Kasarani and even later on winning Kipkeno Classic a couple of times, the president was there hugging me with all my sweat and all my stuff. So that moment and that experience really humbles me. And it tells me that it's a small world and you can meet whoever you want, you can interact with whoever you want. So, of course, we appreciate and cherish those moments, but it's always a humbling experience as well.
My incentives zimekuwa, looking at how the president is really rewarding some of your colleagues, your friends, your teammates, Team Kenya, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million banner. That gives a lot of hope to these other athletes that you are also molding and training.
You know, as much as we're doing this for passion, we won't eat passion, you know. Passion won't bring bills to your table. It's just about converting what you love into monetary value and, you know, making it to have some financial impact in your life. So seeing people, of course, loving what I'm doing, you know, it's easier when you're doing something that you love because you're doing it out of passion, out of everything. But when you see the head of state, the government appreciating all these efforts, for me, that's a huge motivation. And I'm glad that they have already raised the prize monies for the gold, silver, and bronze. For me, that's again another motivation. Maybe just one thing that they haven't put in is, you know, the finalists. You know, we need an incentive for the finalists. So I'm really hoping that that can be done as well. But so far, so good. We come from the World Championships. The allowances were really nice. So we want to appreciate the government for doing that. I'm hoping that that can be maintained. It's not been gazetted, the per day, per diem. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it won't be the $60 that's been always. It's changed to 200 because of word of mouth. I'm hoping that that can be gazetted. But so far, so good, man. And I always tell athletes, don't always rely on government. Always strive to have something for yourself. Let the government staff and bonuses from the government be a bonus. You know, just be a bonus and be an addition to what you're striving to achieve. But everything else, try to be as a private entity as you can. Yeah.
You have many good projects. Before I just let you go, you have many projects on the side. Your foundation is doing a lot of other nurturing. Tell us more about it, and of course, how can people be involved in it? And so far, how is it for you?
The foundation has done some great things. The last 4 years we've been involved with tennis. I'm sure people ask why tennis, but I have so many friends in tennis federation, and it's easier to penetrate like that. But again, we're planning something for athletics as well, but we've been supporting athletes. We've supported the under-20 African champ who won this year. We've supported another athlete who was with me in Tokyo. So we purpose to support more athletes. And for me, my dream is to have more sprinters in the country. I don't want to be alone. I want a situation where we are going into the start line and we don't know who's going to win. For me, that's the dream that I have for this country in terms of sprint. So the foundation is going to make sure that we achieve that, as well as monetizing talent, you know. We're in a country where we are playing and competing against guys who are doing it professionally, but in this country, are doing it semi-professionally. Someone has to go to work before and train Gion, you know. Your mind is already tired, but you still have to do this. So I'm really striving. I know it will take time, but I'm really hoping that we can make talent be a professional thing in the country. So that's the main goal for the foundation. Someone who wants to support our pages are online, Omanyala Foundation, and we have a way you guys can support and be part of it. And we're having so many conversations right now on partnerships and stuff. So I'm hoping that we can make something out of it as well.
Who do you look for as a role model out there? There's someone, I'm sure. You are a star already, but there's someone, of course, who is a bigger star who you always look up to.
Now, I have so many mentors, not just in track, because I'm someone who is, like I said, I wear different hats. And I have different people to look up to in terms of which field that I am in. So I have different mentors. In track, for me, is myself, because I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be better than I am right now. So every time I'm going into a race, or every time I'm speaking, I want to be better than I was yesterday. So for me, that's a huge motivation. You know, I don't want to be that guy who is looking, because I had a mentor. I had someone who I looked up to. I beat his records. I beat him. So right now I want to beat myself.
Mentally, how do you sustain? How do you keep yourself mentally strong? Because athletes, we just see you running, but you have things within you that you struggle with. How have you managed all this through here?
Mental strength is one thing that has really carried me through, because you getting into a world championships, this is not like a normal small event. This is a world championship, and you have an injury, but you still have to show up. That's why I said, when you get motivation from your sponsors, from the people who are really around you, those people matter. That really motivates you. So mental strength has been my strength for the longest time, and still is, because every time I wake up and I remember the achievements that I've had to go through, and then I remember the people that are looking up to me, the people are motivating for me, that's something that always boosts me emotionally, physically, mentally. So yeah, it's been my biggest go-to.
Thank you so much, Ferdinand Omanyala. Let's keep on celebrating our athletes, and of course we'll always continue supporting you. As a journalist, we've always really seen where you came from to where we are right now, because I remember even the first time I was doing an interview with you in my previous station, and I'm looking at where you are right now. Definitely there is hope for so many people. So thank you very much. That's of course Ferdinand Omanyala, and you cannot find this kind of guest anywhere else, only here on TV 47.